When the castle was built in 1855, 4th Street up here was on the outskirts of Marietta. And they put the fence in the front yard to keep cows out of the yard. The main features are the tower with a crenellated top. Take a look at the trefoil window up near the roof line, and also the fabulous Gothic front door. It's got the pointed arch. Those are some of the most common elements. Well, we're standing in the dining room of the castle, which is located at 418 4th Street. This is one of the most fabulous houses in Marietta. It was built in 1855, and it's one of the best examples of Gothic architecture in the state. And it's haunted. Surprise. We've just finished a program up here where we did a reenactment of a Victorian funeral, and that included a lot of folks from the Marietta College Theater Department, and it was just fabulous. There's special things going on here all year round. There's lots of opportunities to volunteer up here if you're interested in working with kids or getting involved in historical reenactments of any sort. So they've got a website. It's mariettacastle.org, or you can call 373-4180 and ask for Jessica. Well, we're now in the sitting room of the castle, and a lot of people who visit this house think this is such a cozy, comfortable room. But it's not always that way. Late at night, there's a lot of paranormal activity in this room. A couple of years ago, the people who work maintenance up here at this house, we've got all these carpets, paintings, and furniture in here that needs to be protected. So they have to keep the temperature controlled and the humidity controlled in here. They bought this device called a thermohydrograph, and it measures temperature and humidity. And they set it up in here. And every night at 2 a.m., I swear I'm not making this up, the temperature drops and the humidity spikes in here. And this device has a little printout, a little hard copy printout that it makes. And a lot of people have been feeling strange vibes in here for years, but of course there wasn't anything to really back it up. So we think that there's some sort of party going on in here. That's kind of what people have heard when they've stayed all night in here. Kind of sounds like a ruckus in here. Now, we have this room decorated right now for Halloween still. One of the oddest paintings in the house, there's several nice paintings in here, but one of the oddest paintings in the house is called Yawning Boy. And we have him here with a Halloween drape over the edge of his frame. This was painted by Randall Davey. Most people, when they see this painting for the first time, don't think that this boy is yawning. They think he's screaming. He looks terrified. So this is just one of the mysterious little objects that are here in the castle waiting to greet you when you come up for your tour or when you come up here to volunteer. This is the summer kitchen, and this is actually the oldest part of the castle. This part of the building dates from 1833. Now, if you look behind me here, what you see is an old cooking area. We have a fireplace, and this was the oven where they actually made the bread. Now, the reason we're out here, aside from the fact that it's neat and beautiful to see this old part of the house, is there have been a number of paranormal events out here. One thing is a man working on the grounds. We've got some French doors here, and he was out working in the yard, and he smelled the scent of fresh baking bread. He knew there was nobody in the house, turned around, saw the apparition of a woman in early 1800s clothing standing here, and she was looking through the door at him. Needless to say, he immediately left the premises, refused to come back and finish the job. We've also had an actual death that we know of out in this area. A man named Stuart Bosley bought the castle in the early 70s, and it was really, it had really gone downhill. It was in a real state of disrepair at that point. So he undertook to renovate this house and worked on it for a couple of decades. Right before the house was scheduled to be finished, he was sitting out here. This is where he used to sit and deal with the construction folks and so on. He was sitting here at the table, working on his plans, and he died. He put all of his heart and soul into this place, and of course quite a lot of money, but never, died right before it was finished. And it wasn't long after his death that the castle became a museum. It's a museum house open to the public now, and it's operated by a private corporation. But there are a lot of weird things going on in here. There are a lot of interesting things to see in here, and a trip to the castle is highly recommended.